What's going on, guys? My name's Jason Morris. Today we're going to be talking about these two bad boys right here. This is the HOHEM iSteady multi-gimbal. This is the HOHEM iSteady Pro 2. Now, I've already done a video on this bad boy right here. You can click in the link in the description below or the link right up here to check that one out after this video. I want to show you a comparison between these two and why you might choose one or the other. Coming right up. First of all, we need to establish why people need gimbals. Now, gimbals will produce a nice steady footage. You don't necessarily want to be in the field having handheld footage all the time. Doesn't necessarily look professional. So if you do get some nice slow movements with a gimbal, it does make it look a lot more professional, and it can kind of get the audience on the focus of what you want them to focus on, rather having whole steady footage and then them just being sick while watching your footage. It's just too much. I know a lot of professional films and stuff, they do a lot of overhead rigs, shoulder rigs, handheld sort of stuff, but it's not ridiculously shaky. So there is a desired effect if you do want that nice handheld effect. But most of all, a lot of people tend to use these for just getting some nice pans and tilts, all that kind of stuff. These definitely do help. So let's talk about the pros and cons of these two. Now, what's the pros of this? This thing, one of the major things why you would get this over this is that you're able to use 3 different types of cameras. You can use your smartphone, you can use an action camera, and you can also use a small compact camera as well. Now, it does have a payload of 400 grams, whereas this has a payload of, don't know. It only holds action cameras anyway, so 400 grams. If you did have a very, very small mirrorless camera, you could potentially fit it on here. Just has to be under 400 grams. Now, what's the difference between these gimbals and other gimbals? Well, it comes down to price. $169 right here and $99 right there. HOHEM makes decent quality products, which obviously are affordable in comparison to every other brand as well. Now, they do perform pretty similar with smooth pans, tilts, inception mode, all that kind of stuff. Sport mode as well. I'll be testing that in this video with the same action camera on top, the DJI Osmo Action. So in doing this test, I'll turn off the rock steady and then we can get started. So this is me walking normally. Pretty basic, walking normally. So this is the iSteady multi-gimbal, walking normally. Settings are 25 frames per second, shutter speed 1/50th, ISO 100. And let's go for a bit of a run. We'll go for a bit of a run. I'm using the sport mode to turn really quickly. One more. Sport mode to turn. All right, now this is with rock steady on. Go for a bit of a walk, rock steady on. Now that's me not trying to keep it steady, that's just trying to use the rock steady and the gimbal. All right, we'll hit for a run. So you can see the noticeable difference between the rock steady paired with the gimbal. So this is also designed for your Sony compact cameras, your RX100 series, your RX0 series, and also the X3000 series. So you can pair this up with the Sonys, but then you'll also be able to access a little bit more functions with the app. So this weighs in at about 530 grams, which is, you know, it's solid. It is definitely, it does hold a little bit of weight. I mean, it's not like this big beast right here. This chomps them all. This is my DSLR or mirrorless camera gimbal. But you can see the difference there with these two. This is only 351 grams, so it is significantly lighter. So it does come with your smartphone mount, as you can see right here. So it does have that basic 3/4 tripod mount at the bottom with the base plate. So it's pretty simple. You can chuck the smartphone mount on, or you can just take the smartphone mount off, and then you can chuck your action camera on top or your basic compact camera. So the functions on these seem to be pretty much the same with the triggers and all the modes that you can actually do. Now let's talk about the iSteady Pro 2. Now why would you get this gimbal right here? If you do have an action camera that doesn't have image stability, fantastic. I've got the GoPro Hero 4, doesn't have image stability, chuck it on here, you've got nice steady footage. But even if you do have a action camera that does have image stability, this can allow you to keep that horizon nice and level. You can get some smooth pans and smooth tilts, and you can also get that inception mode as well. The great thing about this one as well, it's actually splash proof. So that definitely does help if you do have your GoPro or Osmo Action on there and you're splashing water into it, that's perfectly fine because it will take that. I've done it before with this thing when I was in Tasmania, in the blowhole, boom, all the water went all over this. Perfectly fine, works great. So one of the pros of this is that it has 12 hours, approximately 12 hours of usage, whereas this one only has 8 hours. Because it is bigger and it holds bigger cameras, it all depends on how you use it as to how much power you'll get out of it. If you have very basic movements, you won't probably actually use that much power. Now, obviously, another pro of this is that it is only $99. So it is very cheap in comparison to $169, but I mean, it's only an extra $70. That's nothing really in comparison to what you can actually get out of this. Now, there isn't too much else to say about these. They're fantastic, they're built well, they're very cheap, and they're competitive, which is great. And it's pretty much just a tool. It is a tool to help you create better content or a different style of content. Now, you don't necessarily have to use a gimbal. You can still do handheld or have your lanyard or tripod shots, whichever. This, like I said, is just a tool. It adds a little bit extra dynamic to what your filmmaking is capable of. So if you did like this quick little video, guys, hit that like button. That would be absolutely amazing. Comment below if you have any questions on these two gimbals. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you already haven't, and also make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be notified when my next videos come out. Guys, my name is Jason Morris, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, let's get it.
Way up, on track, now we going way up. Now we going way up, now we going.